Nemesis 2, released 1995, directed by Albert Pin. This is the most futuristic it's going to look, people. Set in the year 2077. It's blackness, explosion. I wish I saw more of that explosion. I thought I was done with the blackness mixed with explosion effects when I was done with the opening credits. This woman is the star of this movie because I guess people complain about the last Nemesis movie being misogynistic because it has a strong male character who is mean to women, and we're supposed to admire that. But women were actually fighting with him, and a woman was a villain, and she was very powerful. Whatever. Really, to show what future computers can do, they just show scenes from the game Star Fox. So we go to East Africa in 1980 because this movie ran out of money and now wants to be racist. Yeah, that pecan pie definitely looks like something from a human body. Why is this woman carrying around her baby in a dangerous action scene? She's not a good mom. Leaves a baby in the middle of the desert. We see a black person look at baby like it's some sort of treat. I hate that I'm saying this. This is a terrible racist movie. They even have rapper cuts. This movie is blending old stereotypes with modern stereotypes because it wants to offend everybody. A human's face in front of our space because I guess that's art. A haystack. What the hell is going on? I don't know. It's just a bunch of artsy crap so it can show the title again and Albert Pin's name after the racism. The reason this movie is in Africa is so it can have subtitles so it can be more intellectual than the original Nemesis. But the original Nemesis was a good, smart movie because it knew what it was, and it was a action movie for men and with some good women empowerment elements. And it was actually smart and iconic in many ways. But this movie knows that it's not smart, so use tricks like having subtitles. Human Bones. This movie thinks that Naked Amazon was an influential film. Ron Alex, sure, do what the person is trying to eat you tells you to do. Wild Boar is black. This movie's incredibly racist. Look at her ass. And Sue Price is defending herself in a very impressive and athletic way. It ends with something that looks like sex. Scenes from other parts of the film. That's lame. A little sword. How do we make this less lame? Let's rip off Star Wars. This movie is getting racist. Let's rip off something else. Predator. By having an alien with cool camouflage morphine effects, like in Predator, that has eyes like a gun aimer. Let's have a gun from a Western movie in this future movie. Alright, you're going to pull on the turban? No, no, this disgraces my people. You can pull on the turban. This trying to be feminist film has the same approach to racism as WWE. Cannibalism, I'm very offended, and everybody's offended because, of course, they are. Why did people think this would work in a movie that's trying to be progressive and feminist? Because what do we always need in women empowerment films? Rape. Creepy shit. So they can defend themselves against something even though they don't. Yes, he defeated that racist stereotype. Finally, we're done with that, but we still have sexiness, lesbian haircut, that fixes everything. That makes this movie more feminist, right? No, you still have a woman running around in a loincloth the entire time and barely saying words and talking like a caveman. What do we get when these women do sound like people? Exposition about their family dying to turn them into more sympathetic characters. Instead of having clever dialogue do that, we have exposition do that, and then never comes back into the film. Sure, I definitely sympathize with these characters, but while they're talking about the racist topics in this movie, like cannibalism, I hate this movie. Even the white man in this movie is racist, and this is the only white man in the film, and he just randomly turns up because they're in an army base. I guess all the racist caricatures ate the army men. She shoots the army men because that was a point of having rape in there, so she could kill a rapist. Remember, it's okay to have your woman dressed like a ethnic stripper as long as he's holding a gun and killing men. Men arm wrestling because they're men, and this is the audience for this movie. And we have the month audience for this movie because a girl might be watching this with her boyfriend. The woman who obviously has weaker arms than a man pushes down the strong man because this is a feminist film and the man was distracted by her tits. Whatever, 20 minutes of running around in a destroyed landscape that does not look futuristic. And yes, Sue Price is a impressive athlete, but when you've seen it for 20 minutes, you get very fatigued. She kills the predator because the predator decided not to be camouflaged anymore because the predator thinks that she's hot. I don't care what they call this alien robot beast. It's a ripoff of the predator. How does this feminist movie end? With the predator still being alive and implied rape. Well, I guess she didn't defend herself against everybody. So that's Nemesis 2. This is a terrible movie that tries to be feminist by having a strong female main character, but it still has her not say anything witty or funny, and she's just a very bland, basic character, unlike the male character in the first Nemesis, and unlike the strong female characters in the first Nemesis. The only thing that this woman does is run around and shoot people and say a bunch of exposition and be a bad mom to her baby. What a perfect feminist film. She is not a smart female character. She never says anything witty or funny, so this is not a good feminist film. This is a terrible movie. I do not recommend it. And even though the action scenes are good sometimes, you get very fatigued. And this is a very racist movie. So this is a bad movie by Touch Grass.